the Off-Grid Family channel. Today we are finally getting around to doing a part 2 of the rocket stove video. I just haven't had time. I've wanted to do it for the last few days and just have not had time. Anyway, today we're going to be mixing perlite and sodium silicate. Sodium silicate is high temperature adhesive. And what happens is it slowly gets harder and harder with the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And so as long as you just leave it alone, it will solidify up to a certain extent. And there are things you can do. People use CO2 canisters and various other bits and pieces. I'm just going to leave mine and then slowly fire it in a few days, you know, just but that will be on another video because I want to get this part of the video out. I made my own sodium silicate. I worked out how to make it and just got straight on with it. It was the most simple thing I can imagine, you know, compared to, I thought it would be a hard process. I've made a video of that, that's just there, so if you want to click on that, go ahead. It's the reason you make it is it's a hell of a lot cheaper. I bought a litre of sodium silicate before I knew how to make it, and that cost me, I think it was about £12 for 1 litre, and I could make, with what I've bought for the equivalent price, I could probably make 200 litres if not more. It is just 2 ingredients mixed together. It's as simple as that. I will need to make some more for this project probably, and if that's the case I might do another quick overview of how to make it. I don't know, we'll see how much I need. As I say, we'll be mixing perlite and sodium silicate. Perlite is a volcanic rock. It's very good for hydroponics. It's very, very insulatory for heat and various other things, so it works perfect for rocket stoves. It's also good for your garden if you've got a problem with water, like retaining water in your soil. A little bit of perlite and it will retain a lot more water and help your plants a lot. I'll be using a few tools today, but you don't have to use any of them. It can all be done by hand, but I'm just making it a lot easier to do, well, a lot quicker, so I can actually get it done today. The 3 main pieces of equipment I'll be using today is a drill, a mini roller piece of metal, and what I've done is I've taken the handle off so that can be connected into my drill, and now I've got a mixer. You can buy, you know, mixers made for it. And then I've got this tub. This is what I'll be mixing the sodium silicate and perlite in. I don't know the specific amounts of sodium silicate to perlite. I'm going to have to sort of, not guess, but I know that they have to be wet, damp, not soaking wet, and so on and so on. So it's just going to be a judgment call. I'm going to tip some perlite in and tip some sodium silicate in, mix up, see how that looks. If I don't think it's right, add a bit more or whatever. This is the perlite I'll be using, and it's super duper expensive. That's not better. I bought this because I wanted to make the rocket stove a long time ago and I didn't want to wait for anything in the post. And so I bought 2 of these packets and then didn't have the time to get on with it, and bought the one off the internet as well. And unfortunately this is I've had it too long to be able to return. So I'm going to use this stuff first, but perlite's perlite. It doesn't matter what the name on it is, it doesn't matter. It's all a volcanic rock. It will all do the same thing. So if you can get it cheap, I've got a bag that's literally a sack that's probably just under half my height, and that costs about £20. I think that's 100 litres. That'll work just the same as this stuff, which cost, I think it was £10 for 10 litres. Incredible. So yeah, as I say then, I'm going to be putting some perlite in here, I'm going to be putting some sodium silicate in here, and I'm going to be mixing it. Once I think it's mixed enough, I'm going to put it into the rocket stove and pack it in, put the pipes in place. This is going to be a bit awkward because it's only me on my own, because you have to pack the sodium silicate, the perlite and sodium silicate mix in around all the pipes and make sure that they don't move and so on until it's dried a bit. So this could go horribly wrong. I did intend on making a way of connecting the L-shaped pipes together, and then when they were done I could just slip them out, but I haven't got around to it and I want to just get this done now. So first job then, let's mix the sodium silicate and perlite together. I'll have to do this outside because sodium silicate, if it goes anywhere, it just leaves this white film that is extremely difficult to get off. And my wife wouldn't be too happy if that was all over the house. You know that thing I just said about not doing it inside, you know, sodium silicate going everywhere, etc. It's just started to rain, so I'm going to do it inside. I was going to put up my green screen, And then when my wife watches back this video, she won't know that it was inside because I could computer animate the outside on the inside. But I thought that was way too funny and a lot of hard work. So anyway, let's get on. Okay. As I said before, I don't know the exact quantities. I don't think anyone really does know, but I'm just gonna use educated guesses to get a nice consistency. Now it won't obviously mix together. This is rocks and basic liquid. It's not going to make any kind of soup, but we just have to do the best we can. Now I don't want to do too much at the first, but this stuff is like, it almost feels like polystyrene. It's really soft, like really light I should say, but then again it is mainly air bubbles. Okay, I'm inhaling more perlite than I should be. Now, one thing, it's completely dried my hand out. It feels like, you know, it's chemically drying it. This is my sodium silicate that I made. And again, you can see that video where I'm like over here, whoa, how do you orientate? Oh, over there. I just want to check to see if it's still okay. Yeah, instantly I can tell. It's catching on the spoon and it's making like a solid drip. Right, one thing I haven't done, you need to oil your, you don't need to, but it's best to oil your pipes. I'm just going to use vegetable oil. You can use any type of oil. It's just to lubricate it slightly, so it makes it a little bit easier to get out. So I'm going to do that first. Try and keep your lid on your sodium silicate while you're not using it, or a film will appear as it's touching the carbon dioxide. Okay, I've just covered them in oil. I forgot to press record because I'm a dev, but I've just used regular vegetable oil. It doesn't matter what type of oil it is. It can be oil, lubricant, whatever you've got. It's just to make it a little bit easier to get them, get the pipes out once the perlite's dry enough. Right, there's my makeshift stirring device. See how well that works. Now, with this, with any kind of mixture like this, add a little bit and then come back and add a bit more and so on. It's a lot harder to take it away than it is to add it. Rule of thumb when mixing in perlite and sodium silicate is, once you think you've mixed in enough, mix it for another 10 minutes. I will end up speeding all this up. It is starting to clump together in places, but not by much. So again, add some more perlite, add some more sodium silicate. Each time I'm doing it, I'm adding maybe a cupful, then mixing, a cupful, mixing. I'm not sure if it's being picked up on the video, but I can see bits starting to clump together, which means they're you know, it's getting there. But just add a bit more each time. there's a different feel now. It's as if it's hitting stuff at the bottom. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change drills, because this cordless one isn't designed for any kind of long-term use. So I'm going to change to its dad. That's a bit better, but let's turn it down a touch. Nearly. I want it to be able to clump together slightly once it's done. Oh, it doesn't smell too nice. Definitely going to have to make some more sodium silicate. Afraid of that. Damn it. Banged a hole through the side. Oh well, it's not a major issue. A little bit more mixing, and then I think we're done. Right, there we go. I think that's done now. Let's just do one more test. Yeah, it's now like forming. Oh, it's real sticky and oh, it stinks. Right, also I'm going to get some gaffer tape and gaffer tape that up in a sec. But while I do the rest of my stuff now, I want to cover it up, stop oxygen getting to it the best I can. Now, let's put this into our rocket stove. One thing you need to do is make sure your mixing thing is wiped clean after you use it, because this stuff will stick solid on it eventually. There you go. I just don't want it to get all disgusting until I don't need it anymore. Right, here's the fun bit. I'm just going to plot all of it in and then tamp it down and so on where and when I need to. Right, I'm going to put gloves on purely because this stuff's horrible and sticky and I don't want it all over my equipment. I'd probably advise using gloves because it is caustic soda and that's not good for your skin, but it's up to you. Right, now this is where we pack it down. Now we have a special tamping down device, which is a piece of log. Now I don't want to be leaving too long in between each one of these pourings, so I'm going to just crack on straight away doing another load of perlite. I'll find the lid to this. This won't help much, there's a huge hole all over it, but it's just cut a bit of air out. Okay, now because I've gauged, I forgot to close off the hole, didn't I? Come on. Right, let's get some gaffer tape. Where's that hole gone? There. I'm going to tape all the way around it just to give it a little bit more strength. This is not to look pretty, so just going to fire it around. If it ends up sticking to the floor, that'll probably be to my advantage. There we go. I need more perlite. Because I've already done this now, I can sort of be a bit more hands-on with it. I can add pretty much all of that. Yeah, I'm adding all of this. I won't add it all at once. I may have to go and get the other sodium silicate from upstairs, but I'm definitely going to have to make some more today. Definitely should have made a few litres of this stuff. Oh well. Well, I made 2. getting a bit worried about going too close to the sides because of cracking through it before. But it is clumping up at the sides. Still a lot of stuff that isn't mixed here though. Okay, that's still not as mixed as it should be, but I'm running out of time. I'm a bit panicky because of this lot being in here. I don't want it to dry too much. So, let's get our first pipe. It's a lot harder to work its way in when it's covered in oil. There we go. That wasn't meant to happen. Oh, is that as far in as I wanted it? Yeah. Don't worry about getting stuff in the pipe at the moment. Okay, try not to get as much as I am in, but still okay. Right, we got our tamping device. You don't have to put too much pressure on, especially if you're using something like this, because this has got enough weight to do a lot of the heavy lifting, as it were, for you. Okay, now this is where it gets tricky. Let's see if I can get that in better view. Let's put this on here like this. Oh. This is where it could all go really wrong. Just try and keep it as best and as aligned as you can. So far, so good. Okay, that went a lot more successfully than I thought, but I haven't finished yet, so I better not start saying silly things like that. Okay, I need to go and get some more sodium silicate. I'll be back in just a second. This here is the shop bought stuff I got. Obviously it's clear, because of it being not made with the sodium. This is a shop bought one. The reason it's clear is the sodium silicate the silica gel I used had the indicator crystals in it, which just make it go purpley blue. Right. So far that's 20 litres of sodium silicate, 20 litres of perlite, and this is now my third, I'm getting on to my third litre of sodium silicate. I'm hoping that that will last a little bit longer, because if I need a little bit more, I think. Notice I'm going a little quicker with this lot, because I just don't want the other stuff drying out too much, because I want to be able to get it all to bond to each other. If it's dried if one layer's dried too much, then we might just end up getting it cracking. Just going to do a drip test. Oh, it doesn't matter, I haven't got time. Alright. Hopefully that's all I'm going to need for this batch. One thing I've noticed since doing this is the actual sodium silicate that had the indicator crystals in worked in my favour, because I could actually tell just by the colour of it which ones were actually, which ones had mixed better than this. This is all still white to me. I'm not sure if the camera picked it up, but you could see it was going slight like grey blue colour when it was the ones with the indicator crystals in. So I may in the future just put a bit of indicator colour in just to see if that works. But that one's there, that one's fine I think. I was lucky because I didn't have any more to put in. Right, slowly move this one back over. And now don't get it in the tunnel now, the chimney I should say. One side, gently, gently, gently. Oh. Still managed to get half a pint in it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Not the end of the world. Now I'm not going to tamp that down because I want it to stay loose, so when I do tamp it down this time it will solidify with the rest. And now I have to get my huge bag of perlite. This bag's just ever so slightly bigger. Right. this bag too big because this is the only thing I'm making with it until I make my forge, which will be in about 3 months, so I don't want perlite slowly finding its way around the house. Whoops. I went a bit perlite bonkers then. It's a bit too much. Yeah, I'm going to have to put a tiny bit back. Oh, that's going hideous. I'm just chucking that everywhere. Hang on. Will this idea be any better? Oh yeah, actually it was. Oh, that'll have to do. Have I got enough to fill it there? Okay, last one done. Let's move this perlite back out the way. As this is the last of the sodium silicate that I've got, I'm going to fill this up to as high as I possibly can. The actual, I'm going to fill the rocket stove up as high as it will allow and tamp it down. And then once it's all dried and I've taken the chimneys out, I'm going to make up a mix of something that it's going to be sodium silicate, possibly sand and plaster of Paris and a few other bits and pieces. And I'm going to actually make a nice thick, almost like butter, almost like a buttercream kind of consistency. And that way then I can put it on the top and down inside the chimney, and that way it will make it so much nicer looking, and it should hopefully stop, well, it should work as a better rocket effect stove then, because there's nothing stopping the air going up and down inside. But again, it's all theory until I try it. Right, one thing about this perlite compared to the other is this is a lot bigger stones, like bigger rocks of it, than the other stuff. The other stuff was very powdery, so it's a little bit harder to mix. I'm going to have to do a bit of mixing myself, I think. Yeah, it's not even started mixing down there. As you can see by all the dust coming up. Possibly see by all the dust coming up, I don't know how much is getting caught on the camera. It always used to make me laugh when someone would say, oh, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, and it was plain as day, and I'd always think, well, can they not notice that themselves? But it's very different what you can see in the viewfinder or the screen compared to what actually is being recorded. Now both these bottles I will refill with sodium silicate of my own making, as and when I can, hopefully next few days actually. Depends what the weather's like, because I'll have to do that. Making sodium silicate is an outside job. Right. There's a hell of a lot of moisture at the bottom. It's funny, this stuff doesn't smell as bad as the other stuff either. Whether that's something to do with the chunk size, I don't know. I actually am beginning to think I can get away with putting some more perlite in there. Yeah, I can. Again, this is just a feel, you know, as you're doing it, make your own judgment calls. Whoa. Right, let's mix again. Right, I will warn you, this is not good use of a drill, although mine doesn't feel all that hot. Okay, let's have a look. So it hasn't been mixed in. That'll do, that's enough, hopefully. That's good. Although this looks like it's going to be plenty once it's tamped down, I don't know. Better than I thought it was going to be. Oh, I need to straighten this up a tiny bit too. That's not too bad. I thought we were going to run out a lot more than that, to be honest. Right. Oh, that was helpful. Remember, as I say, don't tamp down too hard yet. We will be tamping down quite hard in a minute. Let's just flatten it out like a good shepherd's pie. No idea what I'm talking about. Slowly applying a bit more pressure. What I should have done, because this one's got a lid, I should have actually cut a hole in the lid exactly where I wanted it. And then I could put the lid on it now and it would have just held the pipe in place. But I didn't because I couldn't be bothered. Which will come to bite me in the ass later on in time. Which will come to bite me in the bottom later on in time. I don't advise you going this fast, but look how fast I can do it. Okay, I'm just going to go around a couple more times, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to check on it on a daily basis just to see how it's coming along drying. I think I'm going to leave it in the house somewhere. I've got sheds and stuff outside, but they can get quite damp, and I just want to have as much factors going my way as possible. So as I say, I'll check on it every day, and then when I'm ready to sort it out and take it out and so on, I will do another video and give exact times and how, you know, any issues that have arisen and so on. Okay, there you go. All I've got to do now is wait for it to dry and, you know, solidify. And then we'll start slow burns, and I will make a nice buttercreamy consistency kind of thing. Oh, it's like a sealant almost. A lot of people use like fire cement and so on. I don't have that, so I'm going to make it hopefully. And we'll see how well we do with that. I will give an update as soon as anything different, you know, as soon as it starts to properly harden, or I think I can take the tubes out. I'll do another video for you guys. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also, if you've got any tips, leave them in the comment section too, because, you know, I don't know everything about this sort of stuff. A lot of what you see me do is either the first time I've done it or second or third time, but I'm always learning. You know, I've never gone, I'm the best at doing this, I've learned everything there is to know about it. I don't think that's even possible, to be honest, but I do my best, and so if anyone's got any tips to make it easier, faster, better, whatever, please just leave me a comment, and I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.